Welcome to Book Navigator. If you're listening to this audiobook, let me be brutally honest. This isn't just another audiobook. This isn't a feel-good story that entertains you for a while and then lets you slip back into your old, average life. Once you start this journey, there's no turning back. You'll either grow beyond your limits or come face to face with the harsh reality of your own downfall. This audiobook isn't here to entertain you. It's here to transform you. If you're here, it means you have a burning desire to achieve something big. Otherwise, you'd still be scrolling mindlessly, wasting time like everyone else. But before we go any further, you need to understand one thing. Your own mind is your biggest enemy. Your mind will resist. It always chooses the easy way out. It avoids challenges. Soon it'll start whispering, "This feels too intense. Let's listen to something fun instead." And that's exactly what separates the winners from the mediocre. Most people spend their entire lives trapped in their mind's excuses, but those who learn to control their mind, they are the ones who change the world. Now, ask yourself, are you a slave to your own thoughts, or will you turn your mind into your greatest weapon? Ever wondered why some people learn difficult things so effortlessly? Is it pure talent, or is there a secret behind it? Why do some people stay laser-focused even in the middle of endless distractions, while others can't concentrate for even 5 minutes? What's the ultimate method that allows a person to shatter all mental barriers and become truly limitless? Well, that's exactly what this book is about. This audiobook has 15 chapters, and we're diving deep into every single one of them. No shortcuts, no fluff. Just raw, powerful insights that will challenge everything you thought you knew. But I won't just spoon-feed you answers, because some things aren't meant to be heard, they're meant to be experienced. Through this journey, you'll start noticing things that were always there, but you never truly saw. You'll hear things no one has ever told you before, and maybe, for the first time, you'll be forced to face a truth you've been running from all your life. So, the real question is, are you ready? The journey has begun. Welcome to Book Navigator. And this time, there's no turning back. Chapter 1, Become Limitless. Have you ever wondered how some people learn new skills effortlessly, retain information with ease, read faster, and consistently achieve excellence in whatever they do? Meanwhile, others struggle to remember things, find it difficult to grasp new concepts, and often give up when faced with challenges. It might seem like those who excel are naturally gifted, but the truth is intelligence is not predetermined by genetics. Their real strength lies in their mindset and learning techniques. No one is born a genius. Rather, they develop into one through the right approach to learning. Jim Kwik emphasizes that the only real limits we have are the ones we choose to believe in. Many of the barriers we think exist in our minds are self-imposed. Once we recognize this, we gain the ability to break through them and unlock our true potential. Most people never realize that their brain is capable of far more than they have ever used. The difficulty in learning something new is not because of a lack of ability, but because of how we perceive our own capabilities. As children, we learn new skills, languages, and concepts with ease. However, as we grow older, societal conditioning limits us. We start believing statements like, "I'm not good at math," or "my memory is weak," and these beliefs become self-fulfilling. In reality, these are nothing more than illusions. Scientific research, particularly in neuroscience, has shown that the brain possesses a quality called neuroplasticity, meaning it can change, adapt, and enhance its performance at any age. This proves that the brain can continuously improve, provided we train it effectively. The key question is not whether you can learn, but whether you are willing to change the way you learn. To unlock your brain's full potential, the first step is to challenge and replace limiting beliefs. Your memory is not weak, you just haven't learned the right techniques to enhance it. You don't read slowly because of a natural limitation, but because you were never taught an efficient way to do so. Imagine being able to read and comprehend an entire book in just a few hours, recall names and information effortlessly, and learn new skills faster than ever before. This is not an impossible dream. It is entirely achievable if you shift from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. People with a fixed mindset believe their abilities are static, while those with a growth mindset understand that intelligence and skills can be developed with the right strategies. Your brain functions like a supercomputer, and the way you speak to yourself determines how it is programmed. If you constantly tell yourself, "I have a poor memory," your brain will accept this as fact and operate accordingly. However, if you affirm, "I have a strong memory and can learn anything quickly," your brain will begin working in alignment with that belief. In today's fast-changing world, the ability to learn quickly is more valuable than simply acquiring knowledge. The most successful individuals are not necessarily the ones who know the most, but those who can adapt and learn at an accelerated pace. However, learning is not just about accumulating information. If knowledge alone were enough, everyone who reads books would be a genius. But knowledge without application is meaningless. As Jim Kwik puts it, knowledge is not power, applied knowledge is power. To truly unlock the power of learning, you must train your brain effectively, master focus, and use proven learning techniques. Training the brain properly ensures it remains sharp and responsive. If not used effectively, it can become sluggish, but when activated correctly, it functions at an extraordinary level. One of the biggest challenges today is maintaining focus. Constant distractions from social media, notifications, and emails fragment our attention, making deep learning difficult. However, if you can train yourself to focus intensely, you can master any subject with greater depth and speed. Imagine being able to focus on a task with laser-like precision. How much more could you achieve? Most people struggle with learning because they were never taught the right techniques. Traditional methods of reading, memorizing, and studying are outdated. Jim Kwik's approach leverages scientifically proven techniques that significantly enhance learning efficiency. For example, to remember information effectively, it is better to visualize it, connect it with a story, or associate it with emotions. Neuroscience confirms that when knowledge is linked to strong emotions, it is retained for a much longer period. Now, imagine a life where everything you learn stays with you effortlessly, where new skills come naturally, and where your brain operates at its peak potential. This is not a fantasy. It is entirely possible. The only thing standing between you and this reality is action. Listening to these insights will not change your life unless you take action. Avoid the common excuse of postponing change, thinking, "I'll start tomorrow." Tomorrow never comes. The time to start is now. Break free from limiting beliefs, train your focus, apply the right learning strategies, and, most importantly, redefine what your mind is capable of achieving. Your brain has no limits. The only question is, are you ready to unlock its full potential? Chapter 2. Why this is important. Right now, do you think the world operates the same way it did 10 or 20 years ago? If your answer is yes, then you're living under a big misconception. The world today is changing at an unprecedented speed. If you don't upgrade yourself, you'll be left behind. That's why adopting a new learning approach, embracing a limitless mindset, and mastering super learning techniques have become more crucial than ever. We live in an era where knowledge is abundant. Almost any piece of information is available at your fingertips with just a click. But have you ever wondered why, despite such easy access to knowledge, so few people truly take advantage of it? The truth is, just having knowledge isn't enough. The real challenge lies in processing, absorbing, and applying that knowledge effectively. This is where your brain power can become a game changer. What is the most valuable skill in today's world? Is it coding, business, marketing, writing, number? The most crucial skill is the ability to learn quickly. If you can learn fast, you can excel in any field. No competition will be too tough for you. The faster you learn, the faster you grow. Jim Kwik emphasizes, Learning how to learn is the most important skill of the 21st century. Now think about it. There are two types of people in this world. The first category consists of those who remain stuck. These are the people who constantly complain. I never got the right opportunity. I didn't have proper guidance. My luck is just bad. They fear change. When new technology emerges, they say, this is too complicated. When a new skill is required, they think, I can't do this. They resist adapting and remain stagnant. Then, there's the second category, those who embrace change and turn every challenge into an opportunity. They don't panic when a new technology arrives. Instead, they ask, how can I use this to grow? They don't hesitate to take on new learning challenges. For them, the direction of the world doesn't matter because they know their brain is capable of learning and adapting to anything. Now, the question is, which category do you want to belong to? If you don't want to be stuck in the past and instead wish to thrive in the future, you must take action now. This is not the time to say, I'll start learning tomorrow. That one day you keep waiting for, it's today. People around you will try to hold you back. They will say things like, don't be too ambitious. Stop overthinking. Just go with the flow and relax. But here's the truth. Most of these people are stuck themselves. If you listen to them, you'll end up exactly where they are. As Jim Kwik puts it, if knowledge is power, then learning is your superpower. Right now, you have a golden opportunity to reprogram your brain for success. Imagine being able to read a book 10 times faster. Imagine effortlessly remembering everything you learn. Imagine acquiring a new skill within days instead of months. Now, think, if you had this superpower, how much could you achieve in life? This isn't just about increasing productivity, it's about transforming your entire life. When you learn faster, your income grows, new career opportunities open up, your creativity skyrockets, and your confidence reaches new heights. Let's look at an example. Meet Rajesh and Ankit, two friends who went to the same college and started their careers in the same job. Fast forward 5 years and their lives look completely different. Rajesh is stuck in the same job, complaining every day. I never get a promotion. My company doesn't value me. The job market is too competitive. His life lacks excitement, growth, and new opportunities. Meanwhile, Ankit has skyrocketed in his career. Over the past 5 years, he has continuously learned new skills, grabbed high-paying opportunities, and even started his own business. Today, he enjoys financial freedom, while Amit remains trapped in the same cycle of frustration. What made the difference? It wasn't luck or external circumstances. Rajesh believed that his growth depended on his company and external factors. He waited for opportunities instead of creating them. He never upgraded his learning abilities, never sharpened his memory, and never trained his mind to absorb new skills quickly. On the other hand, Ankit understood that the real power lies in his brain. Instead of relying on traditional learning, he embraced smart learning techniques, speed reading, memory enhancement, focus training, and continuous upskilling. When the company went through a recession and layoffs happened, Rajesh panicked, but Ankit had already prepared himself with new skills and secured a better-paying job. When new technology emerged, Rajesh hesitated. This is too hard. But Ankit saw it as an opportunity. Let's learn this and stay ahead. Now, Rajesh is stuck in the same place, while Ankit has become limitless. So, ask yourself, who do you want to be? Do you want to be like Rajesh, struggling to keep up with the world? Or do you want to be like Ankit, setting your own pace and staying ahead? Remember, there are only two types of people in this world, those who make excuses and those who find solutions. The choice is yours. Will you take action today, or will you keep waiting? Chapter 3, Your Mind, Your Greatest Power. Did you know that your brain is one of the most complex and powerful things in the universe? Yet, most of us use only a small fraction of its true potential. We often believe that our intelligence and memory are fixed, thinking, I have a weak memory, I forget things quickly, or I'm not a fast learner. But the truth is, your brain is limitless. It can grow, adapt, and master new skills at any time. Jim Kwik, a renowned expert in neuroscience and brain training, has proven that the brain functions like a muscle. The more you use it correctly, the stronger it gets. However, if you fill it with distractions, negative self-talk, and ineffective learning methods, it weakens over time. Imagine going to the gym but never actually working out. Would you expect to build muscles? Of course not. The same applies to your brain. If you don't train it properly, it will never reach its full potential. The real question is, how do you unlock your limitless brain? Since childhood, we are told that intelligence is something you're born with. You either have it or you don't. But this is a myth. Anyone can become a fast learner by using the right techniques. Even Albert Einstein was considered an average student, yet he trained his brain and became one of the greatest geniuses in history. Actor Will Smith once said, "I'm not naturally talented, I just work harder than anyone else." This proves that effort and smart techniques matter more than raw talent. Starting today, stop telling yourself, I have a weak memory or I can't do this. What you repeatedly tell yourself becomes your reality. If you spend hours glued to your phone, watching TV, or scrolling social media, your brain switches to passive mode. But when you challenge it with puzzles, deep thinking, and problem solving, it grows rapidly. Follow the use it or lose it rule. Push your brain to learn something new every day. Try learning a new language, reading complex books, or solving difficult problems. The more active your brain stays, the stronger it becomes. A distracted mind cannot learn effectively. Today, the biggest challenge is distractions, social media notifications, and endless emails. But Jim Kwik emphasizes that deep focus can boost your learning speed by 10 times. The next time you study or learn something new, eliminate distractions. Put your phone on silent, find a quiet place, and focus entirely on the task. You'll notice a huge improvement in how quickly you absorb information. Do you struggle to remember names, facts, or numbers? The problem isn't your memory, it's the technique you use. Jim Kwik teaches a powerful method: visualization and association. Our brains process images 60,000 times faster than words, so when you want to remember something, link it to a vivid mental image. For example, if you meet someone named Raj, imagine him dressed as a king, since Raj means king. This fun mental picture will help you recall the name instantly. If it takes you weeks or months to finish a book, it doesn't mean you're a slow learner. It just means you haven't learned the right speed reading techniques. Jim Kwik teaches that you can double or triple your reading speed by eliminating subvocalization, the habit of silently pronouncing words while reading. Instead, practice visual reading, scanning full sentences at a glance rather than reading word by word. Now, imagine being able to finish an entire book in just 2 or 3 days. Your brain would absorb knowledge at an incredible pace. Your brain becomes what you believe. Every day, tell yourself, I can learn anything quickly. My memory is strong. My mind is limitless. When you repeat these affirmations, your brain starts working in that direction. This is called self-programming. Think of visionaries like Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, and Bill Gates. They all trained their minds to think beyond limits, which is why they became some of the greatest innovators in history. You may have heard the story of Eklavya and Guru Dronacharya from the Indian epic Mahabharata. But have you ever looked at it through the lens of limitless learning? Eklavya, the son of a poor hunter, had an intense desire to become a master archer. He knew that Guru Dronacharya was the greatest teacher of archery and went to him for training. However, Dronacharya refused, saying, I only train royal princes. At this moment, Eclavia had two choices: either accept defeat and believe he wasn't worthy of learning, or take control of his learning journey. Eclavia chose the second path. He didn't give up. Instead, he created a statue of Guru Dronacharya from clay and trained himself by observing and imagining the lessons the great master would have taught. Every day, he practiced relentlessly, using visualization and deep focus. Eventually, he became so skilled that even Dronacharya's best student, Arjun, was no match for him. Now think about it. Eclavia had no teacher, no formal training, and no special resources. Yet he became one of the greatest archers in history. What can we learn from Eclavia? He believed learning power comes from within, not from external resources. He trained his mind using visualization, focus, and practice. He didn't let obstacles stop him. Instead, he turned them into opportunities. Now, relate this to your life. Do you ever think, I don't have a good teacher? I lack the resources. My brain isn't sharp enough? If so, you are limiting yourself. But if you think like Eclavia, if no one is teaching me, I'll teach myself, you will unlock your brain's full potential. Learning is not about having the best resources. It's about having the right mindset. Your true learning power lies within your mind, not outside it. So, what will you do? Will you make excuses? Or will you unlock the limitless power of your brain? The choice is yours. Chapter 4. How to listen to and remember any book or audiobook. Have you ever read or listened to a book only to forget most of it after a few days? You might remember vague ideas but struggle to recall key lessons. If this happens to you, don't blame your memory. The problem is not your brain, it's the way you consume information. No one ever taught you how to listen effectively and retain what you learn. But what if I told you that you can listen to any audiobook and remember it for life? Yes, it's possible. According to Jim Kwik, one of the biggest secrets to learning and remembering is active listening. Your brain is like a supercomputer. If you give it the right input, it will give you the right output. To make the most of any book, you need to change the way you listen. Step 1. Shift from passive to active listening. Most people listen to audiobooks passively. They hear the words but don't fully engage with them. Imagine reading a book but only looking at the words without trying to understand them. Would you remember anything? Probably not. This is exactly what happens when you listen to an audiobook without actively processing it. The solution? Ask yourself questions while listening. How can I apply this to my life? What is the key takeaway? How would I explain this to someone else? When you actively think about the content, your brain processes it deeply, making it easier to remember. Step 2. Take smart notes. Many people assume they'll remember everything and don't take notes, but the human brain naturally forgets most information within days. To retain what you learn, create mind maps or short keyword notes instead of writing long summaries. For example, if you're listening to Atomic Habits, your notes might include small changes, big results, habit stacking, link new habits to old ones, identity change, I am a fit person, so I exercise. This method helps your brain visualize and recall key ideas faster. Step 3. Use visualization. Your brain remembers images better than words, so instead of just listening to a book, create a mental movie. If you're listening to Rich Dad, Poor Dad, don't just hear the words. Imagine yourself making financial decisions, investing in assets, and growing your wealth. This makes abstract concepts more tangible and helps your brain store them for the long term. Step 4. Teach what you learn. The Feynman technique. Have you ever noticed that when you teach something, you understand it better? This is known as the Feynman technique. If you really want to remember a book, challenge yourself to explain it as if you were teaching a 10-year-old. For example, if you're listening to the 5 a.m. Club, you could explain it like this. Waking up early makes your brain fresh, helps you focus, and increases productivity. When you simplify ideas and explain them in your own words, They become clearer in your mind. Step 5. Repetition is the key to retention. One of the biggest mistakes people make is listening to a book once and never revisiting it. Neuroscience proves that information sticks when we review it multiple times. Here's how you can do it. First listen. Focus on understanding the book. Second listen. Engage in active listening. Take notes and visualize concepts. Third listen. After 10 days. Play it at a faster speed and recap the key learnings. By exposing yourself to the same content multiple times, you move it from short-term to long-term memory. Let's look at a real-life example of extraordinary memory and strategy. In ancient India, King Dhanananda ruled with arrogance and corruption. The people suffered under his rule, but no one dared to oppose him. Then came Chanakya, a simple but brilliant scholar who vowed to overthrow the unjust king and establish a new ruler. He had no army, no wealth, and no power. Yet, he single-handedly defeated the Nanda dynasty and made Chandragupta Maurya the emperor. How? Through his sharp learning abilities and strategic thinking. Chanakya mastered active listening. He didn't just hear what the king's ministers and generals said. He analyzed their intentions and strategies. He used note-taking in the form of short, powerful sutras that later became his famous book, Arthashastra. He visualized every step of his plan, imagining different scenarios before executing them. Most importantly, he taught his knowledge to Chandragupta, ensuring that his lessons were deeply ingrained. Finally, he repeated and refined his strategies over time, making them flawless. By applying these techniques, you won't just listen to books, you'll absorb them. Learning is not just about collecting information, it's about using it. So, next time you pick up an audiobook, don't just let it play in the background. Engage with it, visualize it, take notes, teach it, and review it. When you do this, you'll not only remember what you learn, but also apply it in your life, just like the great thinkers and strategists of history. Chapter 5. The Magic of Belief. Do you know that everything in your life, your decisions, your thoughts, your success, and even your failures, are controlled by one thing? Your belief system. Your beliefs act like an invisible cage. They can either hold you back or make you limitless. If your beliefs empower you, you can achieve anything. But if your beliefs limit you, no matter how much knowledge or skill you have, you won't be able to move forward. Let me share a powerful story that will make you think. Once, the great teacher Chanakya showed his students an unusual experiment. He tied a baby elephant with a heavy iron chain. The little elephant tried again and again to break free, but every time it failed. Eventually, it gave up and accepted that it could never break the chain. Years passed and the elephant grew big and strong. Now, it was powerful enough to break any chain with just one pull. But when the same iron chain was tied to its leg, the elephant didn't even try to break free. Why? Because now, the chain was not stopping the elephant. Its belief system was. It had believed since childhood that it couldn't break free, so it never even tried. This is exactly what happens in our lives. Our belief system traps us in invisible chains. Your beliefs shape your reality. If since childhood you were told that rich people are bad, then no matter how hard you work, your mind will subconsciously stop you from becoming wealthy. If someone told you you are not talented enough, then even if you have great skills, you will always doubt yourself. That's why it is said, if you think you can, you're right. If you think you can't, you're also right. How to become limitless. Change your belief system. Jim Kwik says that if you want to change your life, you must first break your limiting beliefs. But how? Step 1. Identify your limiting beliefs first. Recognize the beliefs that are holding you back. Ask yourself, do I believe that I am a slow learner? Do I believe that I can never become rich? Do I believe that I am bad at public speaking? Do I believe that my memory is weak? If your answer is yes, then these are your limiting beliefs, the same chains that held the elephant back. Step 2. Break your old beliefs now. It's time to break these beliefs. If you believe, I can't learn fast, then ask yourself, is there anyone in the world who was in the same situation as me, but still learned fast? If the answer is yes, then the problem is not with your intelligence, it is only with your belief system. Jim Kwik himself struggled with dyslexia and learning disabilities, but he changed his belief system and became one of the fastest learners in the world. Step 3. Adopt new, empowering beliefs now. Replace your old beliefs with positive beliefs. Instead of, I have a weak memory, say, I am improving my memory every day. Instead of, I can never be rich, say, I can learn financial success and become wealthy. These affirmations are not just words, they reprogram your brain. Step 4. Strengthen your new beliefs with action. Thinking alone is not enough. You need to take action. If you believe I am a fast learner, then prove it by learning a new skill. If you believe I am confident, then start talking to people without hesitation. When you act on your new beliefs, they become your new reality. Your belief system shapes your destiny. Your beliefs decide your fate. Just like the elephant, we often hold ourselves back because of false beliefs. If you want to unlock your full potential, first identify your limiting beliefs, break them, and replace them with empowering ones. Remember, your brain is limitless. You just need to learn how to use it the right way. Now, let me ask you, which limiting belief are you going to break today? A true story. Albert Einstein, a boy called weak-minded. You've heard of Albert Einstein, right? The genius who changed the world with his discoveries. But do you know what people said about him when he was a child? When Einstein was young, he was not like other kids. He couldn't even speak properly until the age of 4. His school teachers told his parents, "Your son is very weak in studies. He will never achieve anything big." Now imagine, what if Einstein had believed this? Would he still be known as a genius today? But Einstein did not let others define his belief system. How did he break his limiting beliefs? He believed in himself. Even when the world called him slow, he saw himself differently. He kept an open mind. He always tried to understand things in new ways. He never gave up. Even when he got bad grades, when universities rejected him, and even when he couldn't find a job, he never let his belief in himself change. And finally, the same Einstein who was once called weak-minded discovered the theory of relativity and became one of the greatest scientists of all time. Your beliefs create your future. If Einstein had believed his teachers, he would never have succeeded. Similarly, if you have any limiting beliefs like, I can't learn fast, I can't be rich, or I have a weak memory, identify them and break them. Because the truth is, your brain is limitless. You just need the right belief system to unlock it. Chapter 6. The 7 biggest learning myths that hold you back. Have you ever wondered why some people learn quickly, master new skills effortlessly, and keep moving forward in life, while others struggle constantly? The answer lies in just one thing: belief system. Jim Kwik says that there are certain learning myths that we have been taught since childhood. We have believed in them for so long that they have become our reality. But if you break free from these 7 learning myths, you can boost your learning speed, memory, and intelligence many times over. A story that will change your thinking. We all know Thomas Edison as the inventor of the electric bulb, but do you know what happened when he was a child? One day, his school teacher gave his mother a letter. When his mother read it, tears filled her eyes. Edison asked, "Mom, what's written in it?" His mother replied, "Son, your teacher says that you are a genius. You learn so fast that no teacher can match your pace. So, you should study at home." Years later, after becoming a great scientist, Edison found that same letter. When he opened it and read it, he was shocked. It actually said, "Your son is mentally weak and cannot learn anything. He is expelled from school." Reading this, Edison's eyes welled up with tears. If his mother had told him the truth that day and made him believe that he was weak, he might never have become a great inventor. Just like Edison, our learning is also affected by the myths we believe in. Let's break these myths one by one. The 7 learning myths that are holding you back lie. Number 1. Intelligence is fixed truth. Your brain is like a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger it becomes. If you believe that I am not born intelligent, then that's your biggest mistake. Neuroscience has proven that intelligence can be improved with the right learning techniques. Lie number 2, I am a slow learner. Truth. No one is born a slow learner. People who learn slowly are usually using ineffective techniques. If you adopt the right strategies, you can learn anything faster. Lie number 3, I can't remember names or numbers. Truth. Your memory isn't weak. You just haven't trained it properly. Your brain remembers patterns, stories, and visuals much better than plain data. If you use the right memory techniques, you can recall any name or number effortlessly. Lie number 4, multitasking makes me more productive. Truth. Multitasking is an illusion. When you try to do multiple things at once, your brain keeps switching tasks, which reduces focus and productivity. The best way to learn is to focus deeply on one thing at a time. Lie number 5, I need the best resources to learn truth. The world's greatest minds, Einstein, Lincoln, Chanakya, did not have the best resources when they started. Learning does not require a perfect book, teacher, or course. It only needs curiosity and dedication. Lie number 6, I'm too old to learn new things. Truth. Neuroscience says you can learn at any age. Henry Ford invented the first car at age 45. Colonel Sanders started KFC at age 60. If you think it's too late for you, that's just your fear, not reality. Lie number 7, failure means I can't learn truth. Failure is proof that you are learning. Every time you try something new, you will make mistakes. But mistakes are not the problem. Giving up is. The only way to truly fail is to stop trying. The Race That Never Ended, the story of Milkha Singh. A young boy lost his family during the partition of India. He had no money, no support. He wandered the streets barefoot, often starving, but one day he saw a dream. I want to be the fastest runner in the world. His name was Milkha Singh. When he first started running, people laughed at him. A poor boy like you can never be an athlete. You didn't even go to school. What will you do in sports? Becoming an international champion is impossible. These were the same false beliefs that hold most people back. But Milkha never believed them. He broke all 7 learning myths and became one of the greatest runners in history. Let's see how he proved them wrong. Lie number 1, intelligence is fixed. People said, you are poor and uneducated. You can never succeed. But Milkha knew that intelligence and talent can be developed with hard work and patience. Lie number 2, I am a slow learner. When he first started, he lost many races. But instead of thinking, I am slow, he thought, how can I get faster? Lie number 3, I can't remember names or numbers. He never received formal education. But when his coach trained him, he memorized every detail. Timing, breathing patterns, running strides. Memory can be trained. Lie number 4, multitasking makes me more productive. Milkha had many distractions. Poverty, hunger, hardships. But he focused on only one thing, running. Lie. Quote 5, I need the best resources. He had no good shoes, no expensive training. But he used whatever he had and trained harder than anyone else. Lie number 6, I'm too old to learn. People told him, you are too poor, too uneducated, it's too late for you. But he refused to believe it. He trained every day and improved continuously. Lie number 7, failure means I can't learn. When he lost the Olympics, people said, your career is over. But Milkha said, Losing is only temporary. Giving up is permanent. He trained even harder and went on to win gold medals in the Asian and Commonwealth Games. Your beliefs shape your destiny. If Milkha Singh had believed those false myths, he would never have become the flying Sikh. Similarly, if you think I can't learn, I'm too slow, I'm not smart, I can't succeed, then these are just false beliefs holding you back. The truth is, there are no limits to learning. The only person who fails is the one who stops learning. Now, one question for you. Which of these false beliefs are you going to break today? Chapter 7. Purpose, the real fuel of your life. Have you ever wondered why some people work tirelessly day and night, overcoming every obstacle without losing energy, while others give up at the smallest hurdles? The difference lies in just one thing: purpose. Purpose is the driving force that makes the impossible possible. If your life lacks a clear objective, the daily challenges will exhaust you. But if you have a strong purpose, you can break through any barrier. A story that will change your perspective. Once upon a time, in a small village in Japan, there lived a 90-year-old man named Hideo. Despite his age, he would wake up before sunrise, go for a run, work in the fields, and remain full of energy throughout the day. The young men of the village often asked him, "Grandpa, how do you stay so strong and full of life at this age?" Hideo would smile and reply, "Because I have a purpose in life." Ikigai, the Japanese secret of purpose. Hideo's story is not just a tale, it reflects a philosophy deeply rooted in Japanese culture. The Japanese believe in Ikigai, the reason to wake up every morning. Every human being possesses immense potential. They cannot unleash their full strength. People who find their purpose live happier, healthier, and more successful lives. How to discover your purpose. World-renowned brain coach Jim Kwik suggests asking yourself these 4 questions to find your true purpose. 1. What brings me the most joy? What activity makes you forget about time and fills you with happiness? 2. What am I naturally good at? What skill comes naturally to you, something you do better than most people? 3. What does the world need? What is that one thing you can contribute to making the world a better place? 4. What can I be paid for? Can you turn your passion and skills into something that sustains you financially? If one thing answers all 4 questions, that's your true purpose. Why is purpose so important? 1. Purpose will never let you give up. Your purpose will act as an anchor in difficult times. It will give you the strength to stand firm when everything seems to be falling apart. Take the example of Narendra Modi. If his goal was merely to earn money, he wouldn't have worked so relentlessly. But his purpose was to serve the nation, and that gave him the strength to overcome every challenge. 2. Purpose accelerates your learning. When you learn without a purpose, you lose interest quickly. However, if you have a strong purpose, your mind learns faster because it understands that this knowledge is essential for achieving your goal. 3. Purpose brings true happiness. Many people become millionaires yet remain unhappy. Why? Because money cannot fill the void inside them. True happiness comes from fulfilling your purpose. A dream that changed history, the story of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. In a small village of Rameswaram, a thin, underprivileged boy was born into a poor family. His family could not afford expensive schools or luxurious comforts. To pay for his education, he had to sell newspapers as a child. Yet, he had something that set him apart from others, a strong purpose. That boy was none other than Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. The power of purpose, from a dream to becoming the president. When Kalam was in school, his teacher once taught a lesson about airplanes and flight. Those words ignited a spark in young Kalam's mind. That day, he discovered his purpose. I want to build flying machines. I want to be a scientist. But the path wasn't easy. When he applied for admission to college, he failed on his first attempt. People told him, A poor boy like you becoming a scientist? That's impossible. But purpose never gives up. Kalam didn't let failures define him. He worked tirelessly, eventually leading India's biggest missile projects and taking the country to new heights in space research. That's the power of purpose, turning the impossible into reality. Purpose, the key to true success. Purpose will never let you quit. When Kalam dreamt of becoming a fighter pilot in the Indian Air Force, he failed the selection test. Most people would have lost hope, but his purpose was bigger than just becoming a pilot. His real dream was to serve the nation through science. Instead of giving up, he pursued a career in DRDO and ISRO, where he made remarkable contributions. 2. Purpose speeds up your learning. Dr. Kalam believed, never stop learning, because the moment you stop learning, you stop living. He constantly updated his knowledge, read books, and conducted new experiments. When you have a strong purpose, your mind automatically learns faster because it understands the importance of knowledge. 3. Purpose brings real happiness. Dr. Kalam never chased money or fame. His dream was simple, to make India a powerful nation. Even when he became the president of India, he remained humble, leading a life of simplicity and integrity. If he had no purpose, he might have lived an ordinary life. But his dream made him extraordinary. Have you found your purpose? If you are struggling in life, ask yourself, is my purpose strong enough to help me overcome every challenge? If your answer is no, then today is the day to start searching for it. Because without purpose, a person merely exists. But with purpose, a person creates history. Now, ask yourself, have you found your purpose yet? Chapter 8, Energy, the Ultimate Fuel for Success. In 1993, the boxing world witnessed an epic battle, Muhammad Ali versus Joe Frazier. Ali was known for his speed, strength, and unmatched energy, but this fight was different. Joe Frazier was fighting with equal intensity, refusing to back down. As the match progressed, both fighters began to tire. Their bodies were exhausted, their muscles burning. But Ali had something that set him apart, his mental and physical energy. When the final round arrived, Ali unleashed a powerful punch, knocking Frazier down and securing his victory. It wasn't just a win based on strength, it was a victory fueled by energy. Why do some people always have more energy? Have you ever noticed how some people remain energetic throughout the day, handling multiple tasks effortlessly, while others get exhausted after just a few hours? The real difference lies in their physical and mental energy. You may have big dreams, but if you don't have the energy to pursue them, they will remain just dreams. Energy is the fuel that drives you toward your goals. Without the right energy levels, you'll struggle to focus, you'll get tired quickly, your mind won't function at its peak. You might give up before achieving your goals. On the other hand, when your energy is high, you work faster and more efficiently. Your brain processes information better. You can learn and work for extended hours. You refuse to quit, no matter how tough things get. Fuel your body the right way. Just like a car can't run on poor quality fuel, your body won't perform well if you feed it the wrong foods. Avoid processed foods, sugar, and junk food. They slow you down and make you feel sluggish. Eat more fiber, protein, and hydrating foods. They keep your energy levels high. Drink plenty of water. A well-hydrated brain works faster and stays alert. Breathe right. Unlock more energy. Surprisingly, most people don't breathe properly. Deep, mindful breathing increases oxygen intake, reduces fatigue, and boosts focus. Make it a habit to practice deep breathing for a few minutes daily. You'll feel an instant surge in energy. Move your body. Stay active. If you sit all day without movement, your energy levels will slowly drop. To keep your body active and energized, take short walks, do some stretching, try light exercises. Even dancing to your favorite music can give you an instant energy boost. Mental energy matters. Just as much physical energy alone isn't enough, your mental energy is equally important. Stay away from negativity. Negative thoughts drain your energy. Start your day with positive affirmations instead. Avoid checking your phone first thing in the morning. Instead, take a moment to reflect on how you can make the day better. Surround yourself with positive and motivated people. Energy is contagious. When you spend time with enthusiastic, hardworking individuals, their energy will inspire you too. Energy, the secret behind every success story. If Muhammad Ali didn't have that energy, he wouldn't have made history. If you have a big dream, you must take care of your energy as much as you take care of your goals. Success isn't just about intelligence or hard work. It's about having the energy to keep going. Now, here's a question for you. What is one new step you will take today to boost your energy? Chapter 9. Small Steps, Big Success. Many people believe that achieving success requires making massive changes overnight. However, the truth is that success is always built through small, consistent steps. Every major accomplishment begins with a single small action. Consider this story. In 1954, a small electronics business was launched in Japan. At the time, the country was struggling economically, and people couldn't afford to spend much. However, the founder of this business understood that by progressing step by step, his company could eventually become a giant. This company was Sony. Initially, Sony focused on creating small products that met everyday needs. Gradually, they introduced compact radios, cassette players, and eventually the Walkman. They didn't make any drastic changes overnight. Instead, they improved consistently, one small step at a time. These small steps ultimately transformed Sony into a global brand. One of the biggest mistakes people make in their pursuit of success is trying to change everything all at once. When they fail, they become discouraged and give up. However, research suggests that if you improve by just 1% every day, you will be 37 times better in a year. For example, if you want to read a book, thinking about finishing the entire book might feel overwhelming. But if you commit to reading just one page daily, you will eventually complete it. Similarly, if you want to get fit, suddenly jumping into an hour-long workout can feel daunting. Instead, start with just 5 minutes a day, and over time, your body will adapt, making it easier to increase your efforts. The power of small steps is incredible. It can make even the toughest challenges feel manageable. Whenever you start a new habit or goal, ask yourself, can I make this so small that it feels easy to do? Another example of small steps leading to big success is a young man in 2010 who felt stuck in life. He wasn't great at studies or sports and would often quit whatever he started. One day he made a simple decision. He would dedicate just 10 minutes each day to learning a new skill. He spent 10 minutes reading, 10 minutes exercising, and 10 minutes meditating. Initially, it felt insignificant, but he promised himself he wouldn't stop. A few months later, he realized his mind was sharper, his body was fitter, and his life was transforming. A few years down the line, this same young man became a successful entrepreneur, running a multi-million-dollar company. His secret? Small, consistent steps. Another inspiring story comes from 1993. A man sat in a small office with no prestigious degree, no money, but a big dream to connect the world through the internet. When he shared his idea, most people laughed at him. That man was Jeff Bezos. He started Amazon from a small garage with no large investments or a big team. Instead of aiming for massive success overnight, he focused on small steps, first selling books, then CDs, then electronics, and gradually expanding. Today, Amazon is one of the biggest companies in the world, all because of a commitment to steady, incremental growth. If you want success, don't try to be perfect from the start. Just take one small step and repeat it every day. Want to read more? Start with just 5 pages daily. Want to improve your fitness? Take a 5-minute walk every day. Want to start a business? Dedicate just 10 minutes a day to planning or working on it. These small, consistent efforts will eventually lead you to unimaginable heights. Now ask yourself, what small step will you take today to move toward your goals? Chapter 10. Flow, when everything feels effortless. Have you ever been so deeply immersed in something that you lost track of time? You kept working without feeling tired or distracted, as if everything was happening automatically. It felt like you and your task became one. This state is called flow, where your mind and body are fully focused on a single goal, and you perform at your highest potential. Flow is a powerful state where productivity, creativity, and concentration reach their peak. To understand this better, let's look at a real-life example. In the 1984 Los Angeles Olympics, a young athlete participated in his first ever Olympic race. Not many people had high expectations from him. However, when the race started, something unusual happened. He seemed faster, more focused, and more determined than the others. It was as if he was not just running, but had entered another dimension. He was completely in the flow, and he won the race, setting a new Olympic record. That athlete was Carl Lewis. Later, when asked about his extraordinary performance, he said, "When I run, I don't think about anything. I just enter a state of flow. My body takes over, and I simply follow the rhythm." This state of flow is not just limited to athletes. Anyone in any field can experience it, whether they are writing, painting, building a business strategy, or learning a new skill. Flow happens when a task is neither too easy nor too difficult. If it's too easy, we get bored. If it's too hard, we feel frustrated. But when a task slightly challenges our abilities, our mind becomes fully engaged and we enter the flow state. To achieve flow, the most important step is eliminating distractions. If your phone keeps ringing or you constantly check social media, entering flow will be impossible. So, when working on something important, put your phone on silent, turn off notifications, and create a distraction-free environment. Another key factor is having a clear goal. Flow occurs when you know exactly what you need to do and why you are doing it. If you are forcing yourself to do something, you won't experience flow. But if you genuinely enjoy the task, your mind will naturally become absorbed in it. Feedback is also crucial for flow. When you receive immediate feedback, you stay engaged and motivated. This is why video games are so immersive. Players receive instant feedback on their actions. You can apply the same principle by creating small checkpoints in your work to track your progress and make necessary improvements. One of the biggest advantages of flow is that it allows you to complete tasks more efficiently and with better results. A task that usually takes 4 hours might be completed in 2 hours with higher quality when you are in the flow state. Now, the question is, how can you bring more flow into your daily life? Start by identifying your most focused hours, the environment where you work best, and the activities that naturally engage you. Once you understand your patterns, you can structure your day to maximize your chances of entering flow. When you consistently work in this state, your progress and success will accelerate. Let's consider another inspiring story. In 2003, a young painter worked tirelessly in a small studio. He had no recognition, no gallery to showcase his paintings, and no significant earnings. But whenever he picked up a brush, he lost himself in his art. Time didn't exist for him. He felt no hunger, thirst, or fatigue. His name was David Cho. For years, Choe honed his craft in complete obscurity, painting simply because he loved it. Then one day, a startup company offered him a job to paint murals on their office walls. They couldn't pay him in cash, so they offered him company shares instead. Most people would have refused, but Choe agreed without hesitation because he wasn't working for money. He was working for the love of his craft. Years later, that small startup grew into one of the world's largest companies, Facebook. The shares Choe accepted as payment turned him into a multimillionaire. This story teaches us a powerful lesson. When you immerse yourself in your work and truly enjoy it, success follows. So ask yourself, are you experiencing flow in your daily life? If not, what changes can you make to bring more flow into your work? The first step might be as simple as removing distractions, setting clear goals, or choosing tasks that genuinely excite you. Once you unlock the power of flow, no obstacle can hold you back from achieving greatness. Chapter 11. Focus. Where your attention goes, energy flows. Have you ever wondered how some people achieve much more success in less time? It's not because they have any superpowers. They have the same 24 hours as everyone else. The difference lies in their focus. When they work on something, they become completely absorbed in it. They don't get distracted by unnecessary things. Their ability to concentrate deeply makes them extraordinary. But in today's world, maintaining focus is one of the biggest challenges. Our phones constantly buzz with notifications, social media updates keep demanding our attention, and countless distractions pull us in different directions. As a result, our minds keep jumping from one task to another, making it hard to give 100% effort to anything. True focus is not just about looking at something, it's about being deeply engaged with it. Only when we immerse ourselves in a task can we master it. This is not just a theory, it's the secret behind the success of the world's greatest achievers. The power of deep focus. A story. In the 1920s, a young boy worked in his father's small workshop. He was obsessed with cars and spent all his time thinking about engines, gears, and machines. While his friends played, he sat alone sketching new machine designs. Many people thought he was crazy, but he didn't care. His name was Soichiro Honda. Honda's passion for engineering was unmatched. Even when his first company failed, he didn't give up. He started again, this time building small motorbikes. Slowly, his bikes gained popularity, and today Honda is one of the world's leading automobile companies. The biggest reason for Honda's success was his unshakable focus. When you focus deeply on one thing, your energy, thoughts, and actions align in the same direction. This creates momentum, and you can achieve even the most difficult goals. How to improve your focus? Now, the question is, how can you become more focused in your daily life? 1. Remove distractions. If your phone, social media, and notifications constantly interrupt you, your mind will never enter a deep state of concentration. When working on something important, silence your phone, turn off notifications, and create a distraction-free environment. 2. One task at a time. Multitasking is a myth. Studies show that when you try to do multiple things at once, your brain can't perform well in any of them. But when you focus on just one task, your efficiency and performance increase significantly. 3. Practice deep work. Set aside dedicated time each day where you work without interruptions. It could be 30 minutes, an hour, or more. During this time, immerse yourself completely in your task and ignore everything else. Laser focus, a story of Steve Jobs. In 1997, a businessman was struggling with his company. Competitors were trying to push him out of the market. Many advised him to sell his business and move on, but he refused. Instead, he focused all his energy on one goal, creating a revolutionary product. That man was Steve Jobs. With intense focus, he led the development of the iPhone, which changed the tech industry forever. His biggest secret was his laser-sharp focus. He removed all unnecessary distractions and concentrated only on the most important things. That's how he transformed Apple into one of the most innovative companies in the world. Focus is the key to extraordinary success. When you direct all your attention and energy toward one goal, you gain clarity, speed, and results. So ask yourself, are you truly focused on what matters most in your life? If not, what changes will you make today to sharpen your focus? Chapter 12. Learning, your greatest superpower. Have you ever noticed what successful people like Elon Musk, Warren Buffett, and Bill Gates have in common? They all make learning a daily habit. They read books, learn new skills, and continuously improve their minds. For them, learning is the ultimate superpower. However, most people don't learn the right way. In school, we are trained to memorize, but in real life, learning is much more than that. Real learning means understanding, connecting ideas, and applying them to life. The Power of Learning, a story in 350 BCE, a young student at Takshashila University spent hours in the library every day. He was curious about everything: politics, economics, war strategies, and philosophy. But he didn't just read books, he deeply analyzed and connected ideas to real life. That student was Chanakya. His ability to learn and think critically was so powerful that he changed the entire political landscape of India. With his knowledge, he transformed Chandragupta Maurya from an ordinary boy into a great emperor, building India's first major empire. If Chanakya had only memorized information, he wouldn't have achieved so much, but he made learning his greatest strength, and that made all the difference. How to improve your learning skills. If you want to become a better learner, here are 3 powerful techniques. 1. Active learning. Just reading isn't enough. You need to engage with the material. Try explaining what you've learned in your own words. If you can't explain it, you haven't fully understood it. 2. Visualization. Our brain forgets plain text quickly, but when we connect information with images, stories, or real-life examples, we remember it longer. 3. The Feynman technique. This method suggests that if you can explain something in simple words, you truly understand it. If not, go back and learn it again until you can. Chapter 13. Memory, the superpower of your brain. Have you ever tried to remember something important only to forget it at the last moment? Maybe you forget people's names, struggle to recall what you read, or lose track of new information. This happens because our brain isn't like a hard drive that simply stores data forever. Instead, it works like a dynamic network connecting different pieces of information. If we use the right techniques, we can unlock the true power of our memory. The Memory Palace, a story. In 400 BCE, a great Greek philosopher named Simonides attended a banquet where hundreds of people were present. As he stood on stage giving a speech, the building suddenly collapsed, and no one could recognize the injured victims under the debris. But Simonides had a unique skill, his incredible memory. He closed his eyes and recalled exactly where each person was sitting, helping to identify everyone. This technique later became known as the Memory Palace method, one of the most powerful memory techniques still used today. How to improve your memory. Want to develop a super memory? Try these 3 proven methods. 1. Association. Our brain remembers information better when we connect it with images, stories, or something funny. Instead of memorizing random facts, link them to something meaningful. 2. Chunking. Breaking information into small chunks makes it easier to remember. For example, if you need to remember a long number, split it into smaller groups instead of trying to memorize it all at once. 3. Spaced repetition. If you learn something once and never review it, you'll forget it quickly. But if you revise it after a few days, then a week, then a month, it will stay in your memory for a long time. The genius memory of Napoleon. Napoleon wasn't just a great military leader. He had an extraordinary memory. He could recall the names, ranks, and even personal details of thousands of soldiers. On the battlefield, he would call his soldiers by name, making them feel valued and motivated to fight for him. His memory was also sharp enough to remember battle maps, enemy strategies, and important details that helped him stay ahead in wars. But Napoleon's powerful memory wasn't a gift. It was a skill he developed using techniques like association, visualization, and repetition. Both learning and memory are superpowers that can transform your life. If you make learning a habit and train your memory using the right techniques, you'll be smarter, faster, and more successful. So, what new skill will you start learning today? And how will you train your memory to retain it? Chapter 14. Speed reading. Read faster, learn more, get ahead. Do you ever feel like there's so much to learn but not enough time? Books, articles, reports, there's just too much information and it can feel overwhelming. But what if you could double or even triple your reading speed? The world's most successful people like Bill Gates, Elon Musk, and Warren Buffett have mastered the art of reading fast and learning quickly. They finish multiple books every week, not by reading the normal way, but by using speed reading techniques. The power of speed reading. A story. In 1960, a young boy in the U.S. struggled with dyslexia. He read much slower than other kids and often forgot what he had just read. But he refused to give up. That boy was John F. Kennedy, JFK. JFK realized that if he wanted to be successful, he had to read faster. He trained himself in speed reading, increasing his pace from 300 words per minute to 1,200 words per minute. This skill allowed him to quickly read reports and make fast, informed decisions. His ability to absorb information efficiently became so valuable that he even encouraged his team to learn speed reading, helping them work smarter and make better decisions for the country. Can you improve your reading speed? Absolutely, but you need to use the right techniques. Here are 3 powerful methods to help you read faster. 1. Reduce subvocalization. When we read, our brain tends to silently pronounce each word. This slows us down. To read faster, focus on just seeing the words rather than mentally saying them. 2. Read in groups of words. If you read 1 word at a time, your speed is limited. Instead, try reading 3 to 4 words together as a group. This will instantly boost your reading speed. 3. Use the pointer method. Our eyes move randomly while reading, which slows us down. Using a finger, pen, or pointer to guide your eyes along the text helps maintain focus and increases speed naturally. By practicing these techniques daily, you can double or even triple your reading speed. This means you'll be able to absorb more information in less time and stay ahead of others. The fastest reader in the world, a story. In 1940, a 10-year-old boy in the U.S. loved books, but he had one problem. He was a very slow reader. He watched other kids read much faster, and it frustrated him. One day, he asked his father, "Will I ever be able to read fast?" His father smiled and said, "If you learn the right techniques, you can read faster than anyone." This answer changed the boy's life. He started practicing speed reading techniques, learning how to scan pages, group words, and read without sounding out words in his mind. Over time, his reading speed increased dramatically. That boy was Howard Berg, the world's fastest reader. Howard Berg trained himself to read 25,000 words per minute. Yes, you read that right. He even earned a Guinness World Record for his incredible reading speed. But he didn't stop there. He taught his techniques to others, believing that anyone can increase their reading speed with the right practice. If they can do it, so can you. Speed reading isn't magic. It's a skill that anyone can learn. By using effective techniques and consistent practice, you can read faster, learn more, and gain an edge over others. So, are you ready to unlock the power of speed reading? Chapter 15. The Power of Thinking. Imagine, if I told you that every choice, achievement, and setback in your life is shaped by one thing, your ability to think. The way you think determines your reality. But have you ever questioned how you actually think? Do you just absorb and repeat what others tell you, or do you truly engage in deep thought? Some of the greatest minds, Albert Einstein, Leonardo da Vinci, and Steve Jobs, thought differently from the rest of the world. They saw things from unique angles, connected ideas in unusual ways, and imagined possibilities that no one else had considered. A boy who thought differently. In 1979, a young boy sat in his classroom while the teacher explained a lesson. Most students were focused on the lecture, but this boy stared out the window, lost in thought. Annoyed, the teacher asked, "Why aren't you paying attention?" The boy replied softly, "I was wondering, what would the world look like if I could travel at the speed of light?" The entire class laughed. The teacher dismissed him as slow and distracted. That boy grew up to be Albert Einstein, one of the most brilliant scientists of all time. Unlike others, Einstein constantly questioned the world around him. His deep thinking led to groundbreaking discoveries, including the theory of relativity, which changed our understanding of the universe. Can you improve your thinking skills? Absolutely. By making a few changes in how you approach problems, you can train your brain to think more deeply and creatively. Here are 3 ways to sharpen your thinking. 1. Think beyond the obvious. Most people stop at surface-level thinking, but true problem solvers dig deeper. The next time you face a question or challenge, push yourself to ask, why does this happen? How could it be different? What if I looked at this from another perspective? The more you question, the better you train your brain to think critically. 2. Explore different perspectives. If you always think in one direction, your ideas remain limited. Try looking at situations from multiple viewpoints and come up with different solutions. Steve Jobs believed that innovation comes from combining old ideas in new ways, rather than simply creating something from scratch. 3. Create space for deep thinking. In today's world, we are constantly surrounded by distractions, social media, notifications, endless news updates, but the best ideas often come when your mind is at peace. Einstein spent hours alone, simply thinking, and that's how his most important discoveries came to life. To develop your thinking power, set aside quiet time each day to reflect and analyze. Unlock your full thinking potential. Once you learn to think deeply and creatively, you gain an edge over the rest of the world. You will see opportunities where others don't, make better decisions, and develop insights that lead to success. So, are you ready to unlock the true power of your mind?